Welcome back to another episode of The Lead with PHPD. I'm CSO Sam Baker, along with my host, Lieutenant Pat Eash. Pat, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm not that bad. Can't complain. Pretty good episode lined up today.
Yeah, this will be fun. We have some community highlights, some goings-on in the city, some calls that our officers have responded to. We got a pretty cool officer profile with Officer Vitale today.
Yep.
We're going to talk about our training a little bit. We're currently doing our in-service training. And then I believe you're taking us on a tour of a patrol car.
Yes, sir. Going to see a little bit of the equipment and the things we got inside. So I'm ready to get into it if you are.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, so you mentioned a couple of the notable incidents or things happen in the community. Since the last time we chatted, I know we did a special episode about one, so we'll touch on that shortly. But can you get into one of the notable incidents we've had since the last time we talked?
Yeah, so our officers go on calls every day, all day long. It never stops. So we picked out a few that are a little more notable, a little more interesting or serious. The first one I want to start with was a swatting call. I spoke about this a little bit on the radio on WPHM with Paul Miller, but I thought it'd be good to talk about it a little bit here on the podcast. So a swatting call, they've come into prominence over the past few years. It really kind of started with online gaming and with streamers. And what it is an unknown actor will call a dispatch center on 911 and report a false serious crime. In this incident, the suspect called 911, reported a serious crime. I believe they reported that some type of shooting occurred at the house. So the officers respond. This is on night shift, so there's a lot of officers working. They all respond there. It's a very serious crime, right? One that we don't get very often, thankfully. But the officers, as they're responding, kind of keep in mind that this could be false. Something just didn't seem right, as they're responding. So they're trained well. They're smart. They do their due diligence. They don't just go to the house and start swarming. They arrived at the house tactfully and made contact with the victim. The victim said, "Hey, I had a feeling this was going to happen. I've been receiving threats on social media, and I'm not surprised that this is going on."
Oh, okay.
So the officers confirmed that it was indeed a false call, and they're working on the investigation at that point and kind of figuring it all out. And come to find out that the suspect in this has done this more than once. We're still currently investigating. But we're not going to stop. We work with our local, federal, state partners to hold the people accountable who do these things, because it is a crime to report.
Absolutely, yeah.
Report a false crime.
And that was my question: is what are the penalties for somebody that does this?
Yeah, so the penalties actually mirror the crime that is reported. So if someone reports a false crime that's a misdemeanor, they can be held accountable for a misdemeanor crime themselves. So a 93-day misdemeanor. In this case, this would be a felony. Someone reporting that there was a shooting.
Yeah, something.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, the person would be charged with a felony for making a false felony call.
Okay.
A felony report. And there's some more aggravating circumstances that can actually raise the penalties for these types of crimes. So just at the outset, just that false call with no one getting hurt or anything like that, it's a 4-year felony. And then, if something were to happen where someone was injured or so on and so forth, it could actually elevate it up to a 15-year felony.
Okay.
Another one I wanted to talk about was actually a fraud or a scam call. And unfortunately, another one we receive often. We get frauds and scams almost daily here at the department. The people who perpetrate these crimes are usually not local. Usually they're some other part of the state or from out of state, even out of the country. And they target individuals, businesses, organizations, and in this case, it was a business that was targeted. This suspect contacted a business, spoke with their worker, and claimed to be from the IT department. And they're able to get some information on the business just online. So they had just enough information to sound convincing and was trying to convince this worker to send money to resolve some IT issue. It was a decent sum of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned, these happen often. And so it's very important for us, not just to educate ourselves, but our family and our business, our coworkers, that these things can happen. Like I said, it's not hard to get information, personal information, business information, or whatever online. But there's going to be red flags. Red flags usually, if it's someone like a call you're not expecting from, maybe it's a manager or the IT department or whatever, don't just trust that call. What I recommend is to hang up and call the actual person that they're claiming to be to confirm this information.
Yep.
So if you receive a call in the middle of the night from your boss saying, hey, you need to wire me $1,000. Okay, hold on, hang up. Call your actual boss. Hey, did you just call me?
Yeah.
And they're going to say no, right? So that's a big red flag. That's just one fraud, one scam.
And there always seems to be a sense of urgency when they're doing this.
Yes, they want it now, and it's dire. It's your computer has been hacked, and you need to send us money in Bitcoin so we can fix your computer. Like, those should be red flags.
Right.
A lot of time, these frauds or these scams, the people are demanding, sometimes to wire cash, but also it's Bitcoin or some other type of
the gift cards. That's a big one. Yeah.
Gift cards are a big one.
Yep.
If someone calls and saying, hey, I can fix your computer, you just got to send me Apple gift cards. Like, that's a big red flag.
Yeah.
Don't do that, right?
Yep.
If you do receive these calls, always trust your instinct. If you feel like it's suspicious, trust your gut. Contact your local law enforcement agency. Let us know. Don't just send out the money, the gift cards, the Bitcoin, whatever it may be, the cryptocurrency. Just don't fall victim. And unfortunately, it happens all the time. A lot of times it's our grandparents, the older population.
Vulnerable population.
Yeah. And, the older population grew up in a different time, where you could trust people that called you. You could trust the mail. Just not the case anymore. So as a family member, make sure you're educating your family, your parents, your grandparents. It's even come to a point, like I had a family member that was targeted. We had to intercept their mail because they're getting so many of these scams in the mail. And it evolves all the time. It can come in so many different forms. Yeah. Really, the big thing is just trust your instinct and verify.
Yeah, and we've seen lottery scams, the impersonating law enforcement, us, medical personnel, that your loved one is in the hospital and we need their SOCH. You name it, they do it. So we do have, I'll throw it up right now, we do have kind of a cheat sheet or a flyer of red flags. You can swing in the office and grab a copy, or pause the video, take a screenshot of it, print it out. Again, we would have to have a poster board size document with the amount of scams that's out there. So this is just a couple of the things to get you thinking. So again, pause the video, take a screenshot of it. Yeah.
You and I both go out to businesses and organizations and talk about this, how to not be a victim of this, because it is so widespread. The more information we can get out, the better. And really, but we can't reach everyone. So it's going to be up to those in the know to spread it with their friends and family.
Mm-hmm. Good information. Thanks.
Another one worth mentioning, we actually had a very serious incident with a barricaded gunman. The suspect actually fired bullets at officers responding at their patrol cars and throughout the night. More information on that, you can check out the special episode we did just on that barricaded situation. So I encourage you to check that out. The last one I want to talk about is we had an armed robbery about a month or so ago. Isolated incident. We don't get these often. But what happened was a juvenile suspect actually walked into a gas station on the north end of town, produced a weapon, demanded cash. After the suspect left, the worker called 911 and gave a really good description of the suspect. Our dispatch center gave out that description. The officers working night shift, based on that description, knew who it was. They recognized the suspect just by what they're wearing, the description, because they had dealt with them several times. Mm-hmm. So that led them right to the suspect's house, made contact with that person, arrested them, actually located and collected evidence from the crime, and received a full confession. So good work on that night shift on getting that resolved, and then our investigators for following up on it, and good work on the clerk for staying alert and giving a good description and resolving this crime.
So we had a couple things happen, notable, that we put on Facebook as well and social media, trying to highlight some of the things going on in the city, but also some of the good work that the men and women here are doing. So I'll pass it over to you if you want to hit the first one.
Yeah, we had an incident in which some people went through unlocked vehicles that were parked unoccupied near McMorran, and these suspects went through the vehicles and actually stole some personal property. The officers responded, investigated that night, and followed every lead that they could that night, just couldn't really resolve it. The next morning, the day shift picked it up, and unfortunately for the suspect, one of the items they stole had an AirTag in it or some type of Apple tracking device.
Yep, that's right, yep.
The interesting thing is the victims of this crime actually tried finding and collecting their property themselves, and also just couldn't find the exact location. But the patrol officers working during the day, and then our detectives, Detective Rumley, followed up on it. They were able to locate where that tracker was going, and they actually observed the suspect walking down the sidewalk wearing one of the items that was stolen out of the vehicle.
Common sense is not so common.
Yeah. So that worked out for the officers and for the victims. That person was arrested. All of the personal property was collected, returned to the rightful owners. The suspect gave a full confession and case closed. Good job for our officers, and good job Detective Rumley and our Detective Bureau following up on it and making sure that the victim's property was returned to him. And then you had another interesting one to talk about, one of our officers being proactive in finding some crime on the street.
Yeah, Officer Hoppy, not too far into the new year, out there on patrol, he noticed a pickup truck driving without lights on. So kind of a common stop we get, a nice kind of a safety stop, turn your lights on. As he makes contact, though, with the driver, passenger, he notices they're kind of being really evasive, their behavior, their mannerisms, just kind of tipped him off that maybe there was something more here going on. And he noticed that the passenger was kind of acting in a way that they were trying to physically conceal something. So he continued the investigation and the contact. He was able to get a canine team over there, open air sniff of the vehicle, the dog alerted inside. So the search inside of the vehicle and of the persons, he located several ounces of methamphetamine, some drug paraphernalia. And as they were conducting that search, they also discovered that the occupants of the vehicle were driving around the city using one of the scanner apps to monitor police activity and traffic, which is also a crime.
It is, yes. Trying to conceal criminal activity. It just goes to show that there's no such thing as a routine stop.
Right.
You go out there and you're keeping your community safe, whether that's, by fielding calls for service or making traffic stops, and you just never know what it leads into. There was a good investigation and a couple of arrests by Officer Hoppy, keeping those dangerous drugs off our streets, especially since, the actors involved in this were actually dealing drugs. Yeah.
And finally, one of the other things we want to highlight is New Year's Eve, since the last time we talked. Yes. Holiday, very busy season for us. Calls do not stop, but also the proactive work that PHPD is out there doing. I want to touch on New Year's Eve specifically because we have been asked, what does it look like around here on New Year's Eve? That day specifically, the officers had just under 140 calls for service.
Wow.
So every call that the officers go on in the police department generates a number. That way, all the work they do can be traced back to that one number. So if there's a dispatch call, traffic accident, traffic stop, it's all assigned a number.
Okay.
So 140, let's say, calls for service across the board that 24-hour stretch. 73 of those calls were made before midnight on New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
And 49 of those were traffic stops, leading to 5 OWI arrests on New Year's Eve alone.
Oh, wow. So some great proactive work by our officers.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, there is really no holiday in police work.
Nope.
But we had extra officers out there that night specifically looking for intoxicated drivers. We want to find 0. That's the goal.
Yeah.
But they found 5. So that's 5 fewer fatal crashes. That's 5 fewer families that lose a loved one. So really, it was a great job by all. They were very busy and protecting the streets of the city. We thank them for doing that. We thank them for doing that.
Yep. And the reason also to mention, stay tuned, our annual report. I'm currently working on that alongside you. So we'll have all the numbers for 2025 here coming out shortly. So stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
Salvatore.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
We're good.
Pretty good.
How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We're halfway through the shift. It's been an uneventful day, probably because of the cold, but
that was what I was going to say. We appreciate you stopping in to do this. I know you're on shift right now.
Yep.
So I was going to ask you, what's the day been like so far?
Not too bad. I took an accident. Luckily, nobody was hurt. One of the cars had gotten stuck in a snowbank, so I used the tow strap for the first time. So that was pretty
nice.
Cool. We hooked it up on an axle and hooked it up to the hitch and pulled him right out of the snow. So. You see anywhere you can hook it? Not too bad, right?
Not too bad.
think it's the first time I had to use that. Everybody was willing to help out. All one of the neighbors came out with their kids, and they were digging the snow out from under the car. So
Takes a village.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
That's cool.
So it was good.
Well, again, thanks for being part of this. You're our first officer profile. So
I'm honored.
I know when we were talking about it in a recruiting meeting, and you stepped right up. So we wanted to bring you on and let you introduce yourself and kind of give a little bit of history of who you are and why you're here. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I originally grew up in the Macomb area. I was going to college. I was supposed to do construction safety, so that was not it for me. So went through the academy, and I've been working here for about 7 years, and it's been an eventful 7 years, jam-packed with all kinds of stories. We could go on for hours, I'm sure.
And we're going to get into some of those too. But so you said 7 years with PHPD. Can I ask why PHPD? What drew you here?
So originally, I went through the academy. I sponsored myself, and coming out of the academy, I really looked at Port Huron. It was out of where I grew up, and it was right on the river, right on the lake, and just nice scenic views. The area's nice. There's a lot of different things that the department provides for career development. So I was interested in that. There's we have everything that a big city department has in a smaller compact city, like an SRT team and a couple of canines. We got a full detective bureau. The list goes on. So that's kind of what drew me here. And then coming in, and I did a couple ride-alongs and meeting everybody, kind of met some really cool people, and it kind of seemed like a family environment. So decided to put my application in, and got a conditional offer, and here I am 7 years later. So it's been nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's amazing how fast 7 years goes by.
I'll tell you what, yeah, it's still feel like I'm brand new.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's flown by.
Oh, I can only imagine. Well, in that 7 years, you've gained a lot of knowledge and experience, and you've taken on a lot of different roles.
Mm-hmm.
What type of extra duties or special assignments have you taken on that 7 years?
Yeah, so I'm on as you mentioned earlier, the recruitment team. That's been fun to do. We just go out to the different colleges and academies and try and get candidates that to apply to Port Huron, and it's good to go out there and meet people. And I also work at Oakland Police Academy teaching EVO, so I get to see instructors and teachers and the dean. I'm pretty cool with out there. And I am an EVO instructor, which is the emergency vehicle operations. So I do that here for our own people, and that's fun. We get to go out to flat surface, big area where we can set up some cones, and we can have people practice on their maneuverability in their vehicles, because we're out in our cars for 12 hours at a time, so it's pretty important training.
Shout out to St. Clair County Airport for letting us use that space.
Yeah, for sure.
If you ever drive by there and you see, well, why is there a dozen police cars running around out there? Yeah, we use their space. So
Just training.
Just training.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super fun. I like to see people smiles on their face. It's one of the more satisfying things to train on, because everybody kind of gets to go fast, and it's in a controlled environment. So we're all being safe out there, but everybody likes it. They like to have fun. And then what else? Recently, I became a use of force instructor, or subject control instructor, however you want to put it. Went to a week-long school so that I could teach and instruct our own people. Very happy that I can, teach everybody the skills that I've learned in that school, and hopefully keep ourselves safe and keep the citizens safe and using those skills. So.
Sure. You actually get to teach that in our in-service academy here coming up, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's February training all this week. So I'm I think next week and the following week I'm doing some instructing. So that'll be the first time for me. So it'll be probably a learning curve for me.
Oh, it's a huge responsibility and a great role, and something we all need. It's unfortunate we have to learn subject control, but it's just the reality of our jobs, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to having you. What about maybe some goals, some other things maybe you consider taking on in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think hopefully in the near future here, kind of whatever comes first. I think K9, that was always an interesting spot for me that I wanted to kind of pursue when the opportunity comes. I do have a dog at home and 2 cats, so we'll see how that goes if I do get the spot. But that interests me, and then also eventually here I want to probably end my career, whether it's 10 years, 5 years, working as a sergeant, as a supervisor. I think sergeant would be a good spot for me where I can be a good role model, and as the younger generations coming through, is just kind of teach them and kind of mentor them as time goes on the road with all the experience I've had on the road. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking.
So Sal, you've been here over 7 years. You've worked probably a few different shifts between night shift and day shift. You're on day shift now currently.
Yep.
You started your career on nights, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, I've just started on day shift. When I first started, I was on night shift for a little bit of time. Then we introduced the, what do you call them, the power shifts. And I did the 10 to 10, I did the 1 to 1, I did the 3 to 3. And my favorite spot was the 3 to 3 because you kind of get a little bit of the, night action when it's busier at night, especially during the summer. And then you also get, a little bit of daytime. And it's not like, you're losing too much sleep and going to bed like 3:30, 4 in the morning. So you can still wake up earlier and get things done on your off days and stuff. But yeah, I've been on days since October, and it's been better.
Yeah.
It's been good because I can actually sleep and I function like a normal human being.
A
You know,
little better on the social
more
life.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
home life.
you guys were there at one point, so yeah, just waking up at a normal time and businesses and stuff being open,
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's not, you don't have to lose sleep just to get a haircut or whatever, you know what I mean, or go grocery shopping or something. So it's been nice. I like it.
That's good. It's funny to hear the perspective because if it was up to me, I'd work nights my whole career. I love nights. I loved, the different types of calls you experience, the different things you see. But then, yeah, on the other side, when you work days, you have a little bit more of like a balanced home life, right? So
Absolutely.
it's kind of pros and cons to both. But yeah, if it were up to me, I'm going back to nights.
No,
Coast
I
to
hear you.
had a good time.
Coast to coast radio.
Yeah, that's
early
right,
morning.
George Norrie.
Oh,
Yep. I missed that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't heard him in a while.
I know.
It's completely opposite too, because day shift you have it's bright out, obviously.
Mhm.
You got all the traffic, everybody's up and awake. It's a little bit busier towards the end of your shift rather than on nights. It's dark. A lot of the car, there's really no traffic out, right? Less accidents. And yeah, it's a complete.
Yeah, because you're busy
flip-flop.
at the beginning of the shift on
Yes,
nights, right? So you
correct.
start off kind of going call to call and then
Yes.
kind of evens out towards the end where it's just
Yes.
opposite on days. Looking back or reflecting on your time here, what's been your favorite part of the job?
Oh man, I like seeing people that I've helped in a not so traumatic scenario where we can just talk and they can say, "Oh, hey, remember this, remember that." Like I've had people come up to me that I do not remember. We see all kinds of faces all the time, every day. So they come up to me, "Oh yeah, you're the one that arrested me, back such and such time." And I was like, I don't remember. "Oh, remember this, and that?" I was like, "No, I remember." He's like, "You were so nice to me, this and that." So, and then sometimes you get the ones that are not so happy with your service. But yeah, it's definitely fulfilling to know that I've been able to help people in my 7 years here so far. It's the best part.
We do deal with a lot of people. We do have tons of interactions, and that interaction you had with them is maybe just another day on the job, but to them it makes a lasting impact. And sometimes you never, you never really realize sometimes how much you impact people in this job.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, most of the time you don't really ever see later on down the road how it impacted somebody. But those few times where you get to,
Yep.
it stands out to you. Like you remember those instances for the rest of your life. So
Yeah.
so rewarding, just knowing that you're out there every single day helping somebody
Right.
you don't necessarily know, but you're making a difference, right?
Yeah, there's one call in particular that I can remember clearly that was very fulfilling. I got to see it out from beginning to end. And one night I was just coming back from a noise complaint, and I was taking a different route that I normally would take, and because the road was closed. And it just so happened that I look at the clock at like 12:30, and I see this car kind of pitched towards the pointing towards towards the houses, and there's somebody around it. So just as I was about to let dispatch know I was going to be out with a suspicious vehicle, dispatching me to this suspicious vehicle because somebody had called that something was going on out here, right? So I see this very big muscular dude, and to put it in perspective, I'm not the tallest guy, so to me, this guy's just big, he's tall, he's built, and he's like carrying somebody towards the boulevard there. And I'm asking him, I'm like, well, what's going on? What happened? And he's like, oh, he fell out of the car while it was driving. And I'm like, that's weird. So I go and look at this guy, and the injuries that he had didn't match what this big scary dude was telling me. So I was like, this is not right. And then I could see, there was his fists were kind of bloodied up, and he was sweating real bad, and he was all hyped up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this guy just beat this guy up. So waited for backup to come, and we put him under arrest, and it ended up being what happened is that they're out having drinks, and somehow, some way, we don't know why, things got heated, and he really did a number on this guy to the point where paramedics told me this guy might not make it.
Oh, wow.
And that's when it hit me, and I was like, man, either I just saved this guy's life, or I was the last person he's gonna see, right? So fast forward, we get through the whole court case. The guy recovers, he survives.
That's good. Yeah.
Great. We go to the court case, and he ends up pleading guilty. And when I go and walk out the courthouse, the victim, the guy who got beat up, he thanked me for saving his life, and that's one thing that sticks with me. So,
wow,
yeah, that's one
impactful.
Of those fulfilling things. I'm getting emotional even talking about it, but it's one of those things that this is why I do the job. This is why I became a cop. So, yeah,
impactful story, and those most certainly stick with you. And we probably have some similar stories, and they'll stick with you forever. I always recommend. No one ever listens to me, which is no shock. To literally write these stories down. Yeah. From the day, the start of your career.
Yep. You told me that, I think, the second or third day that I was in FTO.
And you didn't listen to me. It's okay. No, I'm used to it.
You told me to.
There's two of them in that drawer right
that's
there.
good.
I do have some special ones.
That's good.
You're not the only one who said that too.
Yeah, it's a common thing. And, with the pace of the job and our responsibilities, you don't have the time to sit and write your journal out. But if you do take the time to write it down, even later on, you're going to reflect on these stories. There's going to be some very impactful ones like that. There's going to be some funny ones too in there, and we all get that question at barbecues and Christmas, like, tell me a crazy story.
Yeah, what's
and
the
I literally do not ask
seen?
them, like, I don't know where to start, So it's important to document these things, for your own memory and your own kind of story, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Hey, start now, Sal. You never know.
Maybe I will.
Speaking of that, you said it's the funny ones. You got a funny one you can share with us?
I was trying to think what a PG story would be.
That's fair.
I think
That's
I found
fair.
one. I found one. It actually wasn't. It was just over the summer. This is not something that we typically do. I was actually on day shift for about a month just to fill in, and it was on a weekend, so the animal control officer was not here, and this lady called to say that she had a bunch of raccoons up in her attic. And so I went up there, and there was a whole family of raccoons. I swear, I think there was maybe 8 baby raccoons.
Oh, geez.
And it was just, me and Officer Paul, the canine officer, we're up there, and he's helping me out. He's got the crates open, and these little baby raccoons, they look so like pettable, right?
Yeah.
And then you hear them, and they just,
Yeah.
I ain't touching you. I hear him off to the right here. Off to the, oh, I see one. I see one. I see one. Grab the box.
The box?
Yeah. Careful where you step, bro. They're in all these boxes over here. I saw one's face. All right, hold on. We got it's the house right here. Take the top off.
This is the house?
This is the house. Have him come forward. You got like a snag.
Got it. Good.
All right. Okay, grab the box.
Oh, that was bad call.
Yep, grab the box. Oh. Okay.
Hold on. Yep.
Okay. Oh. All right. Hold on. Okay, very good. All right, good. Keep your fingers away, bro. Okay. All right. There's one. All right, get some light.
It's really cute.
I hope Mom doesn't like sneak up behind us.
Gosh, dude. Don't say that.
All right, same thing. Give me some light, and then cover me with the net. It's okay. Come on, dude.
See if I can poke him over.
Little baby, come on. Real hard. There, go. I got him. All right, we're gonna do this quick. All right. All right, close it. Okay, good. All right, nice. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Bro, there's two more in there.
Big ones?
No, they're babies.
Like that size or smaller?
Like that size. All right, there's one still trapped over here. He's hiding back there. Keep an eye on him.
Oh, he's going. I see him. He's coming this way. You want to get this one while that one's kind of camping out?
Yeah. Yep. Hold on. Watch your step. Let him settle down. Watch your step, bro.
Oh, he's coming. Hold on.
I got a bin down here. Okay.
Might be coming back. Where's he? Hold on.
Come on, buddy.
Do you see him?
Yeah, I see him. He's coming back. All right, close it. Close it. Hold on. Come on. Okay. Nice. All right, one more.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Oh, he's right here.
Where?
He's in this grate.
He's in the vent.
Yeah. Oh no. He took off.
Oh, is he going back downstairs?
He went the other way.
Yep. There he is. I got him. He's cornered.
We'll grab some fingers.
All right. One, two, three.
Alright. Let's go get that other one.
Come here.
Come on.
I got an arm.
Do you think that's secure enough?
No. Pop it open. I'll drop him in. Ready?
Alright, we got got five.
We'll go check the basement for you real quick for Mom.
Yeah, those are definitely babies. There was a big one.
Yeah. Well, that's 5 at least. We'll go swing through the basement real quick. And... All right. The final boss.
Huh?
I said the final boss.
No.
All right, well, I'm not seeing her, hearing her.
He's so much better.
No problem. We ended up taking them to animal control, but I used some resources that we had, and I believe we turned them over to a woman who...
Like a wildlife rehab?
yes, she
Okay.
like rehabilitates them, because I guess when they're separated from their mother, there's something in the development as they grow up, so I'm not a raccoon expert, so I turned it over to
You
the
might be
raccoon
now.
expert. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I was thinking, he's talking about his pets he has at home. I got a dog, 2 cats, and 8 raccoons.
And 8
but don't
raccoons.
ask,
Yeah,
don't
that's
ask any
how it
questions.
happened,
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Well, Sal, outside of work, what kind of hobbies do you have? What things do you like to do?
Yeah, I would say some of my hobbies would be I like to mess around on the guitar a little bit. I've been playing since I was younger. For a while, I gathered some dust, but I brought it back out. And actually, my fiance's father gave me like a drum set too, like an electronic drum set and a keyboard. So I'll mess around on all those. I do spend a lot of time in the gym, trying to stay fit, and I do play. I just started playing hockey again.
Oh, cool.
Yep,
I was going to say, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you're
Yeah.
front and center there.
front and
yeah.
center there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming up. I actually forgot the date of that. Do you remember the date?
27th.
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 Boom. There's the plug.
There it is.
We got the date. So
We talked about it earlier.
come
but
see
yes.
us.
Yeah.
You can come see me fall on the ice 10,000 times and hopefully win the game.
Well, that's what I said. I'm not talking bad about your skills, but I told him, I told Derek that I would play. I never said I'd play well.
Yes.
So that's why I,
Correct.
I did do it, but
Yes.
not this year.
I'm in the same boat with
Not
you there,
this
man.
year.
Yep. So yeah, hockey, and then I do like to travel with my fiance. We've gone to. I mean, she's the travel bug. She's gone to way more places than me, but some places we've been to is we went to Hawaii, got engaged, and went out west. Yeah, we went to Wyoming, Yellowstone, Grand Tetons. Made a whole trip of that. And then where do we? Oh yeah, our first trip was out to Massachusetts, out to Cape Cod. That was a good trip.
Yeah.
Real good trip. We had a real. It was back a couple years ago when it was just 90, 95 degrees. This cabin we rented, no AC. Wasn't as bad as you'd think, but it was bad. But we had a great time out there.
If I recall correctly, you and a group of friends make it a point to travel to see the
Yes.
Lions play around the country, right?
We did do that for quite some time. And then everybody kind of, jobs got in the way, family started up. But yeah, we went to Baltimore, Philadelphia, went out to LA.
Did you go to Dallas?
I was.
Oh, that's right. That's one. you
Yeah, I
missed,
was unable to go. There's one more place that we went, but I can't remember right now. But it's always fun. And this was before the Lions were killing it, right? You know, so we were the true fans out there when we were losing games. But yeah, that was real fun.
That's
we
cool.
got to do that again.
I was going to say, that's a tradition you got to fire back up again.
Yeah. Oh, New England. That was the other one. New England game.
Okay.
That's where we got shut out. That was
Yeah.
not a good game. So
Yeah. Man,
we had fun.
it
though.
happens. It's all right.
Yep.
So, Officer Vitale, the rock star, world traveling raccoon dad.
Yeah, I'd say the raccoon handler is my
Yeah.
favorite so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. I'll take it.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of different stories, a lot of different titles, and I'm sure there's more to come. So
That's good.
Yeah. Well, and again, we thank you for jumping on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking to us for a bit.
Mhm.
The one thing we do want to close with is give you the opportunity. If you could, what's one thing you would love the community to know about PHPD or the men and women you work with?
Yeah, I'd say, contrary to what some, videos you see online or any bad things you see about the police, I can definitely say that every officer here is a great officer, and they really are truly working out here to protect the public, protect you guys, and make your community safe. So, I think everybody does a real good job of that. I think we're very engaged in our community. Sam, you can attest to that. You have all the gear and stuff, like the gaming trailer and all that, and you go to all the community events. So we're really out there and trying to form a relationship with you guys and keep everybody safe. And sometimes our interactions might not always be positive, but just know that every officer here does want to provide the best service and make sure everybody is staying safe. So I stand by that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well said. We have a world-class group of people here for
We do.
sure.
Mhm.
Yourself included, Sal.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
doing this with us. We really appreciate it. Got to learn a lot about you.
Absolutely. Thanks
Yeah.
for. I'm honored to be the first officer.
We
profile
appreciate you.
officer
Yeah.
guest
Yeah.
here. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can come on
I'll
again.
say
with
we'll
us
have
soon.
you back. Yep.
Yeah,
We'll have you
that'd
back.
be cool.
Thanks,
Good deal.
Sal.
Great. Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
So another area we want to touch on today is our annual in-service training, or our February training. Your new role as our professional standards and training supervisor, this is your baby, if you will.
Mhm.
So can you kind of run through what we're doing right now and why we do it?
Yeah, for sure. So I facilitate the training, and my responsibility is to set up the training. I don't instruct necessarily. We have expert instructors, both internal and external. So my job is to facilitate that, to get them together. And we always do this annual training in February. They, years and years ago, tried to find a time of the year that made more sense than others to have officers off the road and in training. Now, that's not to say there aren't officers still working road patrol. They are. They're still out there. But we, select a few from each of the platoons, get them together in a classroom over the course of a month to make sure that they get all the training that not only is required by the state, but that we require for our accreditation and for our own department needs. The February training this year looks a little different. We condensed it to 2 12-hour days. And in those 12 hours, they cover firearms, subject control, they do a legal update, taser, first aid, and a couple other little things sprinkled in. And those are like some basics. Every officer in the state has basics. The state, MCOLS, is the governing body for law enforcement in the state of Michigan. So MCOLS requires every single officer licensed in the state of Michigan to get a minimum of 24 hours of training. I can tell you here at Port Huron Police Department, we get
Way more.
way more
Yeah,
than
way
that.
more.
But they actually lay out the actual topics and guidelines for the training. So that's what this in-service training is to make sure we hit those state guidelines, get those baseline trainings done. So like those topics that I included, but then we're going to continue throughout the rest of the
Yeah,
year.
we just build on it.
Yeah, exactly. We train daily. We train monthly. We have a fall training that's required also similar to our in-service training in February. So with the February training, we're able to get a lot of that base training done. And you imagine like being at the range for firearms, you can't just go there when you're working road patrol.
Right.
So we have to structure it in a way that the officers are able to not have to concern themselves with their daily job and focus just on the training itself. So we're able to get a lot of that training done here in February, but like I mentioned, we're going to continue and through daily, monthly trainings. We do different versions of training. We bring in outside experts here at the department to train. We send our officers outside to schools, and all that training, the hours, all the work is all tracked and recorded, and that's another one of my jobs. So I actually report to the state. Every single officer, every single hour of training they received to make sure our officers are getting all the training that they need, satisfying those state, department, and accreditation requirements. And also, obviously, the big picture is making sure they're safe. All this training goes in that so that they can make sure they're safe, that our community's safe, and that they're getting all the tools that they need to make sure that happens.
And you did mention we put a big emphasis in February,
Mhm.
also in the fall. And you touched on, too, that we're training daily, monthly,
Yeah.
things like that. Can you give me an example of kind of the daily trainings or the shift level trainings?
Yeah, absolutely. So what'll happen is we have briefings every day for the day shift and the night shift at work, and the supervisor will actually present, a short training. A lot of times what that is like they'll find some story or news article or body cam from an agency. It can be anywhere in the country, and they'll debrief that with the officers. Show the video, read the article, and debrief it with the officers. It's just a little bit of reinforcing those foundations, those skills that we all have to have. And it's not just things like that. So a lot of times they'll do like wellness training for the officers, read an article on how to stay fit, how to eat healthy, how to maintain, work-life balance. So it ranges a whole gamut of things. So it's very useful. Some of the other things that I do on top of just, facilitating and tracking the training is actually developing training plans. So that make sure that the officers are getting everything that they need. And there's like certain certifications that expire like year over year. So I have to make sure that their certifications are kept up. Like for example, radar, we have to make sure that we're trained and certified in using the in-car radar every year. So that's just another thing that, for example, I help track and make sure that our officers are getting everything they need.
There's so much more than just, we're going to train on this.
Yeah. It's not just one thing. And there's just a wide range. You can imagine it's a very complex job. And if we're not training and using these skills, they go away, just like any other complex skill. So we want to make sure that those skills stay fresh. And we also have to keep on top of trends. Society changes.
Well, that's true.
Laws change. We have to keep up on that. Our officers are expected to be familiar with the law, what's going on in our state, what's going on in our community. So we have to provide them with those resources and that training to ensure their success.
Yeah.
The other thing I like about how we do our training is we get a lot of feedback from the officers and our staff here on, how the training went, maybe areas that went well, maybe areas to improve, but also what training do you want? What other tools or equipment can we provide to give you even better training? And a lot of times that comes down, again, things change, society changes, laws change. And that can also stretch into like, what do we need here at the department? Our agency is unique, like every agency in the state is unique. We have our own unique challenges, calls that we go on. Like, for example, we have 3 large bodies of water in the city. Our officers, as first responders, need to know how to assist someone maybe that's in need in the water. So they do water rescue training. There's times where we actually go into a pool and practice with the equipment, showing how to deploy it, how you can do it safely, and also kind of reminders of things not to do, right?
Because your limitations.
Yeah, limitations as well.
Yeah.
Well said. That goes not just in the summer, when we have the beaches and stuff open, but in the winter, you have ice to deal with, and that poses its own challenges. So it's kind of a cool way that we can tailor our training unique to our needs. And that's just one example. There are plenty out there. So the key takeaway really is our training is constant. It's not just required, but it's what we want. It's what our officers want. It's the equipment that they need just to make sure they're successful and safe out there. And this is a continuing, evolving thing day after day, month after month, year after year. So there's more to come on that.
Yeah. And I will say too, you're making it very engaging and interactive. And I know there's, some things you got kind of that you're working on behind the scenes of how to advance not only your office and what you can do, but again, the training you're going to provide. So the technology and the things out there, it's an exciting time to be looking at training right now. So
it is very exciting. A lot of stuff happening, but yeah, I want to get the training to the officers and make it practical for them in their everyday jobs.
So one of the questions we get asked most often is the patrol cars. What kind of equipment do we have in them and why we have that equipment? So we're going to take a peek inside. So up here in the front seat, we have several pieces of equipment that the officer is going to use for several hours during their shift. Mainly you have the computer here. This is what they get their dispatch calls on. This is also where they'll run information about driving history, criminal history, and do any type of research that we need to do right here. Right next to that is you do have your radio that connects you to dispatch and to the other officers in the city. On the other side over here we have another mic. This is actually for the PA system in the front of the car, so you can communicate when you're inside the vehicle. Down here you have the controls for all the lights. They do different patterns, sirens, and different tones, so that's all controlled right here. Below that is the control for the radio. Right here, you have the remote. This is what controls the radar unit in the vehicle, which is located right above the steering wheel there. We do have forward-facing radar and rear-facing radar, which is the device all the way to the left there. What you have here is the forward-facing dash cam. There's also a camera in the back seat as well, which will record any activity if you have a passenger or a transport. And that also syncs up with our body camera, so any officer that's in the vehicle has 3 cameras going once they're activated at any given time. Right up here is your printer, should you need to print out a citation or information about a crash report. Right here, these are our spotlights. You have a driver and a passenger, so you can manipulate the light here. Helps you find addresses, turn the switch on. And then right here between the seats is we do have our patrol rifle. All vehicles are set up with the same platform, and you'll see in the back all the equipment is the same in the vehicles. Taking a look at the back seat of the patrol vehicle, as you can tell, plastic seats, plastic walls, metal divider, rubber floor. The seats themselves are also molded to allow for hands when you're transporting somebody to the jail. Obviously they're going to be handcuffed behind their back, so we want to make it as comfortable as possible when they're in that position. Therefore, the seats do have a mold of that design. You'll notice here too, we do have seat belts in the back seat. We do want people to be seat belted in for safety back here, but we have them installed opposite of how typical vehicles are. That way, we don't have to reach in or across somebody, especially if they're being aggressive or violent. We want to be as safe as possible. So we set them up or stage them this way, so if somebody does get seated into the vehicle, we simply unbuckle it from here and then put it right here. And now they're buckled in and we don't have to be reaching across them. Okay, we'll move to the back. So taking a look at the back of the patrol vehicles, you can tell we have a lot of equipment. As I said before in the front seat, we set up every patrol vehicle exactly the same. Every vehicle has the same piece of equipment and they're in the same spot. That's because if we need to go to an incident, we don't want to wait for a certain piece of equipment that may be on the other side of town to have to come all the way to the opposite side. This way, all the vehicles have everything an officer may need. So we'll take a peek at what all this stuff is. So what we have is we have a med bag here. Directly below that, we have a set of spike strips. This is a shield. This is a go bag. Located under that, you have a breaching kit. Over here, you have a TNT tool, water rescue kit, fire extinguisher, AED. This here is your PBT and an additional camera. Here you have a heavy vest for some additional armor and protection, and then you have a supply bin underneath. So with our med bag here, again, this is something that we can just grab and go. And inside of here, you have a lot of first aid, tourniquets. You have some bandages, gauze, additional gloves. In here, you do have a portable stretcher should you need to transport a patient. And again, just more medical first aid. And we have enough in here to treat multiple patients. And again, it makes it very easy to grab and go. So here we have the spike strips. Again, this allows us, should we have somebody that's maybe fleeing, this allows us to set up in the roadway. And what these do is they have little rubber covers on them now to protect these hollow needles. And this stretches out, and we can pull this across the roadway or throw it out into the roadway when the suspect vehicle gets close. They drive over these, and these little needles enter the tire and then get pulled out with the tire. So as the vehicle moves down the road, the hollow needle allows the air to empty the tire. So again, just a way that we can stop or slow down a suspect's vehicle. This is a go bag that we have set up. Primarily a little bit smaller platform than that big orange bag. Some first aid equipment in here and additional magazines and some other supplies we may need there in the side of the bag. Just a smaller platform for maybe a quick grab and go. In the event that we do have to get into a building or a room very quickly, we do have the breaching kit here. Again, set up to make it as easy as possible to transport in a backpack fashion. Multiple tools inside of this here. As you can see here, set of bolt cutters, a ram for the door, and then a Halligan that allows you to pry and also break windows should you need to with the glass punch there. Staying on that theme of entry, all the vehicles are set up with a TNT tool. Obviously, you have an axe, you have a hammer, you have a hook, and again, for prying or wedging should you have to. So moving over to the left side of the vehicle here, Port Huron surrounded by water, therefore a water rescue kit is an absolute must. So the first priority is making sure that the officer is safe. We're no help to anybody if we're not safe ourselves. Therefore, what you have here is a vest that the officer can put on first. Once we have our vest on, we have two different options here. The first being what we call a Mustang survival stick. This device here allows an officer to throw this into the water near where the struggling swimmer may be. It's water activated, so as soon as it hits the water, it self-inflates into a life ring. The other thing we can do is we do have a throw rope here. The water, or the rope itself will float on the water. So the officer holds onto this end, grabs the bag, throws it in the direction of the person struggling. And again, this allows us to hopefully reach the swimmer and pull them in to safety. If all else fails, the bin itself actually will float. So last case scenario, again, this can be thrown out there or even used if an officer makes the decision to enter the water, so the case itself will float as well. So inside this bag here, you have everything for OWI enforcement, primarily your PBT or your preliminary breath test device, as well as a blood kit should you be requesting a blood draw or a search warrant for a blood draw is obtained. This case here is your AED or your automated external defibrillator. You have a patrol car is set up with them. Over here is your less lethal option, and then below that, this is just a basic supply tub. So this will have some paper bags, some evidence envelopes, additional police line tape, and some odds and ends that the officer may need while they're out there on patrol.
Well, Sam, we don't have just training and some calls for service to talk about today. We have some really cool community events coming up too, right?
Yep. So we have an annual one that's back again, and then we got a brand new one that's pretty exciting that you're going to take part of. So we'll touch on that in a moment. But the big one is the Battle of the Badges charity hockey game between Port Huron Fire and us, PHPD. It's an annual tradition. Used to be every year for even before my time. And it kind of faded out a little bit. And then 3 years ago, we brought it back. It's been very well attended every year. And we expect the same this year. So the main organization that we raised funds for is the ARC of St. Clair County.
Oh, cool.
So the ticket sales and the merchandise proceeds, all is going to go to them. But then what we do is we bring in a kind of a secondary organization or charity to kind of spread it around and help out in the community. So this year, we're bringing in the Harbor and Wings of the Harbor. So they're kind of a local organization that helps youth and juveniles in our community or young adults. Yeah. And I've been to their facility, working the road. I'm sure you've been there as well when we've been in these unique calls with juveniles. So
right.
They have an outreach team and things like that. So we figure what better way to kind of help them out. So they're going to get the proceeds of all the raffle prizes and things like that. So they'll be in the house that night.
That's cool. Some pretty cool causes and raffle prizes. You actually found some really cool raffle prizes.
Yeah. So every year that they just get better. Like I said, this grows year after year. But yeah, we got the Chuck-a-Pucks, just like at a Prowlers game. So there's like a slow cooker in there. There's an air hockey table. We got some over the year, some JBL headphones.
There's the one big one that I'm going to be putting in some tickets for.
Yeah. So we reached out to Detroit City Sports down there, actually kind of in your neck of the woods that way. And they helped us procure a Dylan Larkin autographed jersey.
And I saw it. It's like official. It's the real deal.
Legit. Yeah,
it's
legit.
Cool.
Yeah, as soon as it, I think by the time I got it in the building here and got it to my office, there was 4 or 5 people that were like, "Well, that's going to look great on my wall."
Yeah.
So, it's
under my wall, the best.
Yeah, it's under lock and key right now. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of things out there, and Breacher Rustics too. They're one of our sponsors this year. There's going to be a Battle of the Badges, like a large wood sign that they do. So if you're familiar with their work or not familiar with their work, that's going to be another one.
Yeah, make sure to check them out. Yeah. I think it's breacherrustics.com. Does some really cool work.
Yep. Yeah. So, and this year too, touching on the sponsorships, this is the first year we offered sponsorships, and a lot of people, even 2 years ago when we brought it back, they were like, we want to get behind this and help you and pay it forward in the community. So we offered it out this year, and as it stands right now, we have some different tiers: gold, silver, and bronze. And that gets you obviously some different things for your business or organization. But specifically, the gold and the silver would allow them some of those prime suites along the ice, above the ice, and in the corners.
Cool.
And as it stands right now, we only have 2 left. I mean, we are almost sold out of all the suites. So huge shout out to all of our sponsors that stepped up, and they're really making this quite the event.
Yeah, 2 left.
2 left.
So act fast.
2 left.
Basically, what
That's
Sam
it.
is
There's
saying.
2 left. Yep.
And then just as a reminder, tickets. Can I get tickets at the door?
Yep. So it's cash or card at the door.
Okay.
$12. Kids under 3 are free. And if you want to get them early, you can. You can go to McMorrin's site and get them, or stop at the box office. There is a service fee though if you use that ticketing software.
Okay.
So just be aware of that. I think it's $3. But yeah, if you want to wait to the day of, that's perfectly fine also. So. The prizes, again, the Chuck-a-Pucks will be $5 a bag, just like, at the Prowlers game. The Larkin jersey, I want to say it's $10 a ticket or 3 for $20. We'll get you in the Larkin raffle. And then Breacher Rustics, those are going to be $1 a ticket. So really kind of spreading it around. $1 get you a chance at a prize, and there'll be merchandise for sale too. We'll have T-shirts.
Yeah, I saw the T-shirts. They turned out really good. Those are pretty sweet.
Yep, we got T-shirts, some mini sticks, commemorative hockey pucks, and there'll be all kinds. We have 50-50 raffle going too.
Oh,
also.
awesome.
So
very good.
A lot of chances to support a great cause, 2 great causes, and possibly win some really neat prizes.
Well, I was thinking we got to win this hockey game. I think the last 2 years it's 1-1. So we got to get it.
It's 1-1.
Yeah, we got to get it back this year.
Yeah,
we have a good team.
It's a large trophy though.
Is
So
it?
and
Okay,
I was
good.
like, I don't know if we can get it on this shelf in here, but yeah, we'll definitely. I think it's going to be a guest on the. I'm pretty confident.
I like it. Well, I hope it's a problem we get to solve here pretty soon, showing off that trophy.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great time. Like I said, come out and support 2 awesome charities and charities and organizations. And not only that, but I'll be there. You'll be there.
I'll be there. It's a good time. It's a fun family event.
Yep.
You guys do a great job organizing, putting it on. It's an entertaining game. We always have a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great time.
Absolutely.
And turning it over to you, something new kind of in the works here, but also kind of a hobby slash
addiction.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. So the Blue Water Jeep Owners Club, they do several events throughout the year, and they invited us this year to the Polar Bear Jeep Run. It's February 21st, Saturday, and it's being hosted at Ace Hardware here in town. But it's like a road rally event, but I'm assisting out at Ace Hardware with an obstacle course. So they're raising money for some local kids charities, for Christmas families, for backpack giveaways. So it's really cool. But basically, I have to drive a Jeep with no top on or no doors on in the cold. Hopefully it's not raining.
It's trending in the, it's a little warmer, but we'll see.
We'll see this weekend. I know my luck. But yeah, I've been known to have a few Jeeps in my time.
7.
At least 7. Currently have 2. My wife would say that's too many. I would say that's not enough. So I was happy to get the invite to bring a Jeep into town and support some good causes and meet some good people and have some fun here.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. So I'm looking forward to some of the clips that you'll take for us, so we can insert them into the next episode.
We need to get heated police coats. You know, I got a heated jacket, but it doesn't have any patches on it because it's going to be cold. But it's all right.
Yeah,
we'll bear through it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. So
that'll be fun.
Yep.
Well, that was pretty fun. Had some cool stuff. Getting to know Officer Vitale a little bit. Checking out the patrol car, and kind of just catching up and explaining what's going on here at the department in our community. So
I still think that raccoon video was one of the best I've seen.
That was great. I got a couple laughs. Hopefully, some other people did out of that. It's just crazy out there. You never know what you're walking into day to day, night to night.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's you can't. Somebody's got raccoons in their house and can't get animal control, or so you got to. Help looks different every day. Yep,
adapt and overcome.
That's it.
They did. So they did a good job. But yeah, that was fun. Appreciate everyone joining us here. We got some cool stuff coming up for the next episode too.
Yep, we'll do another community update. Any kind of notable incidents. We'll hit a few more patrol highlights. We'll do another officer profile, and I think this time we're going to we'll hop in the front seat and do a kind of a ride along, if you will, with the officer. So we'll see a little bit of the city and have a conversation in the patrol car.
Pretty cool, like a PHPD cops almost.
what we can show.
Yeah. No, that'll be pretty cool. It's a good idea. And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to all you guys joining us. And thank you for your support as always.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time on The Lead with PHPD.